Known as the Peach State, don't let it fool you with its sweetness, as Georgia is brimming with paranormal activity. This is our list of some of the most haunted places in Georgia. Number 5. The 1790 Inn and Tavern. Located on 306 East President Street, this lovely inn is the oldest hotel in Savannah. It is a popular stop among many with an interest in history and even more so among paranormal experts. It's here that the spirit of Ann Powell, a young girl who fell to her death from room 204, continues to haunt this historical monument. There are many different versions of what happened surrounding Ann's suicide, but all of them include the fact that she was around 17 years old and pregnant. Whether by a sailor that came in through town looking for a good time or a lost love, one thing remains constant, and that is Anne's lingering soul that continues to haunt the inn, especially those who stay in room 204. Reports include guests awakening to see Anne looking over them and then turning away in tears only to jump out the window. Other accounts include missing belongings, mostly women's undergarments, turning up in planters and behind bushes outside the building. And some guests felt that someone was touching their cheek only to wake up and find no one there. Number 4. The Windsor Hotel. Built in 1892, the Windsor Hotel was a shining relic to the city of Americus. Designed by iconic Swedish architect Gottfried Leonard Norman, the hotel featured over 100 rooms in a 3-story atrium. The hotel was beloved by the community and was even praised by former U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Business was doing well and guests were happy, until a story got out about a mother and her child that were murdered in the hotel's elevator shaft in the early 1900s. The woman who was murdered was a maid at the hotel and was rumored to be involved in an affair with the hotel owner, John Windsor. The child that was murdered was rumored to be a child of the two, and that was possibly killed to hide the story. The most common occurrences at this hotel are kitchenware and utensils being thrown violently, electrical appliances shutting off and on rapidly, and most notably, a figure being seen in the reflection of mirrors on the 3rd floor, the same floor the maid and little girl were murdered. Number 3. The Old Candler Hospital. It's not surprising that the very first hospital built in Savannah, dating all the way back to 1804, is said to have housed more ghosts than a movie starring Dan Aykroyd. The giant Candler Oak is said to be one of the most haunted places on the property. Known as the Hanging Tree for horrific reasons of racism, it is said that the ghosts that have been seen there have been hanging from its branches. But the most haunted aspect of the ancient hospital is said to be inside. There's a morgue tunnel that runs from the Candler Hospital to the Forsyth Park that was once used to transport dead bodies diseased with yellow fever. This tunnel acted as a way of transport for the bodies which had succumbed to the yellow fever epidemic. It was said that the tunnel would be filled with the deceased, with horse-drawn carriages pulling up in the pinch of night to secretly carry off the dead to be buried. In total, there was rumored to be over 600 deaths on the property. There was also a psych ward where rudimentary shock therapy went down. Horrible crimes against humanity have taken place on this property, and there is a rich history surrounding it that can be explored through the Blue Orb Savannah Ghost Tour. Number 2. The Springer Opera House. The Springer Opera House in Columbus, Georgia has been around for more than a century. The historical building has also been host to some of the most famous personalities in entertainment. It was also the location where Edwin Booth performed on many occasions. Based on the reports and claims made by a wide range of people over the years, Edwin Booth still spends quite a bit of his time at the famed opera house. Edwin Booth was a famous Shakespearean actor in the 19th century who toured through America and the major capitals of Europe. He performed first with his famous father, who was also an actor, in Richard II when he was 16 years old. His infamous brother, John Wilkes Booth, was also an actor. The three even appeared in one play together. Edwin was a Unionist, so he and his younger brother did not get along. And when John shot and killed Abraham Lincoln in 1865, the entire Booth family had to go into seclusion. For the most part, the spirit of Edwin Booth is very playful. He appears to have the most interaction with women, whether they are guests, cast, crew, or staff members. He also enjoys doing things to and with the props and wardrobe. Booth is not the only ghost in residence at the Springer Opera House. People have also captured orbs of light on video. The orbs appear to bounce a significant amount and even appear to touch one of the people there. People have also spotted a ghostly figure of a man standing on this stage at various times. He is not believed to be Edwin Booth. Additional activity in the upper floors, including the attic, as well as some cold spots and doors slamming randomly, are just some of the daily occurrences people report. Number 1. Oakland Cemetery. This historical cemetery was established in 1850 and was expanded upon heavily during the Civil War for Confederate graves. A total of roughly 6,900 graves are here in the fields, alongside 3,000 unnamed Confederate soldiers. The cemetery also contains the graves of many historical and political figures of Atlanta, including 27 mayors and the author of Gone with the Wind, Margaret Mitchell. In 2008, a massive tornado deviated the local area and also completely tore some parts of the cemetery apart. Many locals and paranormal investigators say this is when more unexplained events started occurring, as this tornado, quote, awoke the restless spirits. To this day, there are still numerous paranormal occurrences reported daily. The paranormal occurrences in this area primarily happen on the plots of the Confederate graves and include spine-tingling tales of soldiers walking around the graveyards as if they've never left the war. Visitors have reported hearing voices call present, as a soldier would do during his roll call. The most haunting tale of this cemetery is the legend of this very roll call. Whomever hears the roll call of these Confederate soldiers will have their name added to the list. If your name is called and you respond with present, may God have mercy on your soul.